Hey, what's up? It's Andy here, and welcome to episode 6. We're finally covering a topic where a lot of people are dying to get into, which is traffic generation. Oh boy, where do I even begin? There are so many traffic sources to tap into, it's absolutely crazy. I guess it really boils down to a given niche. If you have done your research and know exactly where your target audience likes to hang out, then you're in a good place to start off with. There are so many different traffic sources for blogs, so just understand that there is no 100% correct way of doing it. What I will share with you though are traffic strategies that we are currently implementing and some that we know that works. So hope you're excited and let's jump straight into it.
Alrighty, so let's talk about traffic. Now you'll hear a lot of discussion about, how to drive traffic to blogs, how to actually get started, how to get, 100,000 of visitors per month, and so on and so on. And the thing about traffic is there's so many sources out there, it's really hard to actually pinpoint just the one traffic source that everyone needs. There's a whole variety of different platforms that you can actually drive visitors from. And what I'll actually share in this video is just a little glimpse of what's possible of the amounts of traffic that you can actually drive to your blog. So let's start with a common debate that you hear very often, whether we should get free traffic or should we get paid traffic. Now there's really great pros and cons for both free and paid traffic. I mean, with free traffic, you're getting it obviously for free, which is great, and you also got, very warm leads. But the downside is it does take time. Whereas for paid traffic, obviously you are paying for it and sometimes it can be quite steep. But on the upside, you are getting traffic instantly and it's predictable. But since the main focus here is for our blog, I'm going to mainly walk through the free traffic methods. And by now you probably understand that, building up a profitable blog, it does require hard work and it does take some time. And a majority of it is because, you are focusing on trying to drive traffic to your blog. So let's just get stuck right into it and let's discuss about some of the free traffic sources that are available. So obviously one of the great free traffic sources is search engines. Search engines such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, all of them. The reason why they work so well is, for starters, they're free, which in all cases this is all free traffic. And the other one is their users actively trying to look for information. And so when it actually comes to, hot, warm or cold leads, they're quite warmed up, okay? They know exactly what they're looking for. And if you have that information available for them, then you have a high likelihood of them actually going through your content, liking you, and actually, converting them into a customer. Now, of course, getting your website ranking into search engines is a whole nother story, okay? And it's something that I probably won't have enough time to actually explain everything within this video. But one of the key important factors when it actually does come to actually ranking in search engines is just the actual title of your content and the words that are actually written inside your content. So here's a quick example. Let's just say that I was a person that was looking for some diet pills. What would I actually type into Google? For starters, I'll probably just type in diet pills, right? Now, as you can see, diet pills alone have the result of at least 17 million results, okay? And that's going to be a heck of a lot of traffic, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of competition trying to fight for this particular keyword, which is just diet pills. Now, instead of actually writing your content around just diet pills, you can see that Google actually gives you a few suggestions. So instead of just writing diet pills, you can write it specifically for men. And now if I actually click onto that, you'll see that that research is cut down to 3 times. Of course, the actual results is not directly related to competition, but this type of keyword is generally considered a long tail keyword. And with long tail keywords, they have a lot less competition, but a lot less traffic as well. Another great place to actually check out keyword ideas is if you actually scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see other related search terms as well. So you got best diet pills for men over the counter. And even though that your title might not be this particular keyword, if you actually mention this inside your content somewhere, you also have a likelihood of ranking inside this page as well. Another thing I want to mention are the synonyms for the keywords. And so what's another word for pills? As you can see right at the top here, is supplements. So this particular website over here is actually ranking for diet pills, even though their title is called diet supplements. And so you have to really consider adding as many synonyms as you can throughout your content and your title as well. This is to ensure that you do try to rank as many different types of keywords that you can, as well as long-tailed keywords. And this way, we are trying to rank on search engines, but we're not focusing so much on an SEO level. Because trust me, that is a whole different world. So besides search engines, another great free traffic source is YouTube. Now YouTube is actually considered the second highest search engine online, which accounts for millions and millions and millions of users every single day. Now obviously, even if you can get a little small chunk of that traffic, that's still going to be a heck of a lot of traffic coming your way. So when it actually comes to shooting YouTube videos, I know some of you might be uncomfortable actually shooting videos itself, but you've always got other options like screencasts. So what I'm actually doing now is recording my screen, which is called a screencast video. Or your other option is, pay someone on Fiverr to actually shoot it for you. But the key to actually driving a lot of traffic to your blog from your YouTube videos is the branding behind it. Now you want to make sure that you expose your website as many places as you can. So I'm talking about a trailer, which is the very first thing they'll see as soon as they watch a video. You want to have your videos watermarked. You always want to leave your website right at the top of the description. And then throughout your video, you want to make sure that you tell them to actually check out your blog. And the reason why you actually want to send viewers from YouTube to your blog is because what I've actually noticed from personal experience is that YouTube is not a really great place to build a list. Whereas if you watch my last video, your blog should be set up as a mean lead machine. So whoever actually lands on your website, they should be exposed to at least 3 or 4 different ways to actually opt into your list. So make sure you actually get your website name exposed anywhere you can on YouTube. Now the next source is social media. So by now, you should already know which platform works really well for your niche. You should also be able to find out some of the big time players within your niche on that specific social media platform as well. Now the trick with social media is to actually engage with the users. So anywhere possible, if you see other people asking questions, be there to answer it. As soon as someone actually leaves a post and you've read through it, leave a comment. So what would happen here is you're actually building a relationship with that authority, which is going to lead me to connecting. So I'll elaborate more on that a bit later. But otherwise, another way to actually drive traffic from social media is to directly help users linking to a specific source from your blog that is actually helping others. So let's say someone on the social media is asking, how to actually bake a cake, and you had a perfectly laid out post on how to actually bake a cake, then you have every right to be able to help them out, offer value by actually sending them to your blog post. Now the key here is to not look spammy, okay? So don't just put your link there expecting someone to actually click it. You want to just be really personal and be like a real person. And just say like, hey, I noticed that you really needed help with how to bake a cake. I've actually written a really cool post that I think that you'll enjoy. Here's the actual link to it. Something that's really personal, something that feels like it's coming from a real person instead of, a bot sending out spam. And that goes with the same with forums and Q&As as well. So with Q&As, people are actively asking questions because they need help in a particular topic, right? And now this is where we come in, right? If we actually have that information there for them, it doesn't actually hurt by, actually placing a link out there and getting them to actually go into your blog. Not only are you helping that one person, but you're also helping others who's asking the same questions, because they're going to actually find that question as well and read through it, and then they're going to see your answer, and that's another form of actually driving traffic to your blog. Now with forums, it's essentially the same thing, but some forums actually allow you to do signatures. And signatures are a really great way to drive a ton of traffic from those forums to your blog. But before you actually do add any links to your signature, make sure that you do read their terms and conditions, because sometimes, they can be quite strict, and you might need to do a certain amount of posts before you can actually do any signatures. But the trick to signatures is to have something really catchy as a hook. You don't want to just say, check out my blog. Depending on what niche you're in and what type of blog you're writing, you want to make sure that what you're writing is something beneficial to those users. And then all that's left is just to actually go on those forums and engage in that forum. Start actually answering people's questions, start engaging yourself into conversations, and you could also create your own threads. And all of this is a really great way to actually drive traffic from forums. And how you actually find these forums and Q&A sites is just a simple Google search. So all you have to do is just type in your niche and then followed by forums. So for example, if I was building my blog around the bodybuilding niche, all I have to type in is bodybuilding forums. And here you can see a few forums that you can actually join, sign up, and start engaging already. Now the next one on the list is blog commenting. And this is another great way to actually drive free traffic to your blog. And all it is just actually looking for a related blog within your niche, preferably with someone that's high authority. And essentially all you're doing is just leaving a very informative comment on that blog and leaving your link there. And now how you actually write that comment, you got to be really careful, because if you really come across a spam, then there'll be a very high chance that that webmaster won't actually accept your comment. Now the last one on the list is connecting. Okay, so what I really mean here is just networking with other bloggers within your niche. And now this is going to be one of the most tedious work that you're going to have to do, but it's the most powerful. If you can actually get on a high authority blogger's radar and actually build that relationship and preferably become friends, they'll actually be more than happy to share your website to their readers. And you'll also have an ability to actually jump onto their website and write a blog post for them, which is otherwise known as guest posting. And then by writing a blog post for them, that way you can actually leave your link to your website. And it's a really great place to actually get your website known and actually siphon off their traffic. Of course, how you actually connect with your bloggers and get on their radar is through social media and blog commenting. So that's why you really need to engage with the users and really get yourself out there and stand out from the crowd. So a tool that I highly recommend is BuzzBundle. And BuzzBundle is pretty much an all-in-one tool. How it works is it's going to go out and find all these relevant websites like forums, Q&A sites and blogs within the keywords that you actually insert. It'll bring up a whole list of them within BuzzBundle itself, and all you have to actually do is just go in there. You want to set a profile, which I will show you in a bit, and you pretty much just directly engage the users without ever leaving BuzzBundle. And it's extremely easy to use, and as you can already imagine, it saves a lot of time. So we don't have to actually jump onto Google and find all of these individual websites. BuzzBundle will do all of that for you, and yeah, it's just awesome for finding laser targeted audiences. So I'll just quickly jump over BuzzBundle and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So first off, you actually want to add in your profiles or your personas. So on the left side here, so this is what it looks like once you actually connect into BuzzBundle. It's really easy to use. The first thing you actually want to do is actually create a profile or personas. So on the very left side here, you'll see personas. So this is a new project. All you have to do is just add in your own persona. So your name, a little bit about yourself, your website. You also want to add in your email details as well, as it's going to use that to actually verify accounts to make. So what happens here is BuzzBundle will pull up Yahoo Answers. And instead of actually going to Yahoo Answers and creating an account, BuzzBundle will do that for you. It will actually go into your email and actually verify it as well. Like I said, you don't actually have to leave BuzzBundle to do all this. Everything is within inside. So once you set up your persona, all you have to do is just head over to Streams, click on Add Streams, and just type in the keywords that you actually want to look for. So, for example, if we wanted to find people that want to know how to use ClickMagick, we can just type in ClickMagick into the keywords to find, come up with as many keywords as possible. The more keywords you're going to add, the bigger the list it's going to come up with. That's when you actually go through the post, look for one that's going to be relevant to you, and just help them out. So once you've added all your keywords, just press OK, and it will take about 5 to 10 minutes to actually populate all these different types of websites. So if you actually click on this drop down arrow here, you'll see that it'll come up with blogs, forums, social networks, Q&A sites, and video sharing sites as well. So generally I'll just keep it as all types of websites. It's going to come up with all of these different posts, and all you have to do is just from BuzzBundle itself, just click on reply, write in what you need to write, and press enter, and boom, it instantly goes out there and does it for you. So you don't actually have to head over to any other websites externally. Everything is done within BuzzBundle. A really great plugin for driving social traffic is called Social Locker. So what the actual plugin does, it actually locks content as of your choice. So you get to choose which content you actually want to lock. And for readers to actually unlock it, they actually have to either tweet, like, or Google+. And then that box will disappear. Just be really careful on how you actually use it, because there is a negative effect to it, as we're really forcing readers to click on those buttons. Although it does dramatically increase your social signals and social traffic, if you're forcing someone to actually like it, they might actually get put off from your whole content itself. That's why it's really important to actually deliver the content and only lock it as a bonus content. You can actually make it a downloadable PDF, so if, for them to actually read it when they have the time, they can just download it, save the PDF, and read it anytime they like. The only requirement is they have to actually, tweet, like, or Google Plus to get that downloadable PDF. Using Social Locker is extremely ninja tool that's going to drive a lot of our social traffic. As we get more users to our blog, that's when it's going to really snowball, as a lot of the readers are going to share and like our content, and they're really going to do the groundwork for us. Okay, so the last thing we'll actually need to do is actually track all your visitors. And the reason why you want to track is because you want to see how people actually respond to your blog, okay? So if they're leaving straight away, then you know that it's a clear sign that you're doing something wrong, right? You want to keep those bounce rates really low. And what bounce rates are is just people landing on your website and not clicking on anything and then just leave, okay? That's the last thing you want. But how we're actually going to track your visitors for your blog is using a little handy tool called Google Analytics. So just head over to Google And to actually, you know, pop up this tool and to actually use it, all you have to do is just type in Google Analytics, and obviously try to spell Google right. But otherwise, it should be the very first thing up here. So google.com/analytics. So we click into that. Now, with all Google products, you are going to have to sign in with a Google account. You can use the same one that you use for your Gmail. If you don't have a Gmail, if you don't have a Google account, then all you have to do is just create one up here. But pretty straightforward. I'm just actually going to log in using one of my new accounts, and then I'm actually going to walk you through on how to actually install Google Analytics to your blog so that you can get it up and running and start tracking those visitors. So once you've actually created an account and signed in with your Google account, there's just a few more steps before you actually get your Google Analytics up and running. Okay, so all you have to do is just click sign up, and what's left is just to fill out this information, and then we should be good to go. So for starters, you can actually track your website or your mobile app. So obviously with our blog, we want to track our website. So we want to make sure you have that clicked. Now with your account name, this is for your own private use. So it's whatever you prefer. So if you want to just have it as your blog name, it's up to you. So here I'm just going to write Andy's demo, just have it as that. Now with your website name, this is going to be each property. So you can actually have more different websites assigned to that one account. Okay, so if I do decide to have, let's say, 2 or 3 blogs, I can have it all under the same account, which is Andy's demo. But for this case, I'm just going to write Andy demo 1, just for the sake of it. Over here is where you'll need your website URL. So this is just, whatever your domain that you purchase, right? So your blog's domain name. So in this case, if I just head over to my website, Andy's demo site, and I just hover my mouse over visit website, if I just copy that link address, come over here, and let's paste that in. Now, they've already got the HTTP over here, so I don't need that. I'll just get rid of that. And then, boom. Next is industry category. Pretty straightforward. Just do whatever's best suited to whatever industry you're in. So, in this case, I'll just stick with other for now. I mean, it's not that important. It's more for Google Analytics to gather data. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But, if you want to pick your own category, by all means. Reporting time zone, obviously this is completely up to you. You want to do whatever works for you. So if you're in the United States, you can choose, which specific time that's required for you. Otherwise, for example, if I was in Australia and most of my audience is from America, I want to make sure I have reporting time and in American time, so I kind of have an idea of what's going on. But again, it's completely up to you. I'm just going to stick to Australia's one and Melbourne. Then lastly, just a few boxes to actually untick, and you're pretty much good. So this little section here is all for Google Analytics data collection. So it's up to you whether how you actually want to help Google kind of collect the data and kind of work it all together. You can leave it all ticked if you want. You can untick it. It's entirely up to you. Just read through it and choose whatever you like. But once you're happy with that, let's actually get tracking ID. But before you actually get our ID, you want to make sure that you read through all the terms and service. Just as usual, it's really important that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into and you're not violating any rules. But once you've read through that, let's just click accept. Now, when it actually comes to installing Google Analytics onto your website, you've got a few options. But for now, I'm just going to do what works for me and pretty much using this little tracking code here, this little snippet, and paste it onto my website. And don't worry if you don't have any kind of coding skills or any technical knowledge. It's pretty straightforward, and you just follow along and just copy exactly the same thing and you should be fine. So for starters, let's copy this little script over here. So I'm just going to highlight that and click on copy. Now let's head over to our WordPress dashboard for your blog, and what we're actually looking for is the editor. Okay, so if you hover your mouse over appearance, you'll see editor, click onto that. Where you actually want to paste that little code that we just copied from Google Analytics is just in your header. Okay, so again, ignore all of this little stuff in the middle here. On the right side here, you want to look for header. Just click on header, and then what code we're actually looking for is this one here. So where it says head and there's a / before the head, that's the actual closing of the header, right? So where you actually want to paste it is on top of that. So the top of the line, go to the end of the top of the line. If you press enter, it'll space it out, and then what you want to do is just copy that little code into there. So it's just before the header, and then that's all it is, all right? And then all you have to do is just go down here, press update file, and what happens now is that bit of coding for Google Analytics is going to be copied throughout all your pages, okay? Because that's exactly what we want. We want to track all our pages to see, what kind of pages that they're landing on, how our visitors actually interact with the content. So you're able to find out, how long they'll stay on each page, whether you've got any bounce rates, so whether they don't click on anything and leave. You can see the difference between your returning visitors to new visitors, and a whole bunch of information that you can actually get from Google Analytics itself. So once you've actually installed the code, if we actually head over to the Home tab, you'll see that the actual website that you just installed, okay? And then all you have to do is just click on All Website Data. And here is your dashboard for all your statistics, okay? So I'm just gonna quickly run through exactly what each of it means. But sessions is the total number of visits, whether they're new visitors or returning visitors. So if you have 10 people landing on your website, this should be 10. Page views is how many pages on average that person actually goes through. And this is just the average. You've got your session duration, so how long they actually stay on your website. And then your bounce rate is what I explained earlier, when they actually land on your blog, do they actually click on other places or do they leave straight away? And then you also got a percentage of new as well. And then on the left side here is a breakdown of each little bits and pieces as well, so you can actually find out which type of demographics your audience comes from, the interest, behavior. You even got mobile. Your acquisition is like the traffic, where it's actually coming from. And you've got a whole bunch of information just in Google Analytics alone. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time in Google Analytics because it probably deserves a video of its own. But the main key here is just to get it installed so that you can actually start generating traffic and track exactly what type of people are coming onto your website and where they're coming from, just so that you know where to actually focus all your traffic from. So again, Google Analytics is such a powerful tool that you don't want to be wasted. Of course, you want to install Google Webmaster as well, which is pretty much very similar to what we just did. All you have to do is just Google Webmaster Tools, and that would help you actually get your website indexed quicker, meaning that they'll be able to find your blog in search engines a lot quicker. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the whole traffic generation. Just bear in mind that, it will take some time to actually get some traction happening. But, once you actually get visitors coming back on a regular basis, it's just eventually going to snowball. People are going to share your content. Word's going to get out there that your blog is really great. And then the next thing you know, you'll have 100,000 visitors come into your blog on a regular basis. So if you've been following along and actually implementing each step on the way, you're already on the right direction to a very profitable blog. All that's left is just to be really consistent on punching out a lot of value off your blog and then just driving traffic to your blog. And then from there, you just let your blog do the rest. Okay, so if you actually set it up to be a lead magnet machine, you'll find that your list is going to start growing. Your social media profiles are going to start expanding as well. And then you're going to have a lot of people following you and really liking your content. So I hope you liked this video and some of the strategies that I revealed on actually how to drive traffic to your blog. Again, if you actually missed out on the tools or you actually want to get it yourself, I'll leave all the links below this video so that you can actually check out yourself. Of course, you can actually do everything manually, but by using tools, it's going to actually jumpstart your blog a lot quicker so that you can actually get the ball rolling. So that's it with traffic generation, and I'll see you in the next video.